Yeah, off you go.
I'm ready.
You got to take notes, Jerry. Hands up who thinks Jerry needs to take notes. Everyone, good morning, everyone. This is day 5 of an incredible week, and you guys wait till you see what I've got for you planned next week. Oh my giddy God. We plan very much ahead in what we do in planning to create an amazing life for you. So let's share this in 2 different places, and then we'll get stuck in to reviewing this week and look where we go from here. You know, where you go from here is entirely your choice. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for all your kind words. Getting loads of messages at the moment and people sharing their inspiration for what they're doing in their life. And let me just one more place, and then we can begin. So what we know, being a prerequisite in being a My365, is every single week. It's every single week. If you are looking at me and going, Pete Cohen is my coach, well, Pete Cohen is coaching me. Some people have lots of coaches, lots of mentors, but if you say Pete Cohen is my coach, then there's a few prerequisites, and some of you are going to feel an uncomfortable feeling in what I'm about to say, but that's okay. Sometimes feelings can instruct. Pain instructs. If you've got a headache, it's probably your body's way of telling you something. If you're in discomfort, if you've got a feeling in your gut about something, it can be quite painful, but often it's your body's way of instructing information to you. So as your coach, there is a couple of prerequisites. One of them, every single week, you need to review. If you don't review, so much of what you learn, you'll forget it. You'll go, oh, you kind of heard it. That was a good idea. And then it's gone and you'll never, ever remember it. And part of being coached, in many cases, is that you become wise, you become better, and then you want to pass it forwards. You want to share that wisdom. You think that the wisdom I have is mine? You think I just came up with a lot of this stuff? No, I've taken other ideas and stuff that I've applied with on myself, but having had a coach myself for 16 years, someone who helped me with all of the major decisions in my life, all the books I've read, and that's what I'm sharing with you. And if you don't take this seriously and you just play around with it, walking around the swimming pool, dipping your toe in, then you ain't going to get very far. You're just playing around with this. And that's what I've seen most of my life. People who just play around with things rather than going all in and going, I'm all over this. So, and that's up to you, because ultimately the choice is yours. And as a coach, coaches should never tell you what to do. Coaches instruct, like pain instructs. I am encouraging you. I'm not telling you what to do, because it's your life. Your life's none of my business. You do what you want. It's your business. And my life is show business, and I'm showing up and sharing with you every day. It's up to you what you do with it. But what have you learned this week? What have you learned? Some of you still don't hear this, but it's okay. What have you learned? What have you achieved? And what are you going to do with it? And I ask all of you to get uncomfortable. Get in front of the camera and talk. This is me, this is what I've learned, this is what I achieved, and this is what I've done with it. And for some people, they don't want to do it because they don't want to put the information out there, because they don't want other people to see it. In our Facebook private group, no one else will see it apart from the people that are in that group. Our elite members, a large proportion of our elite members, they do it. And some of them are so consistent. Consistency is the key. So let's look at a review of the week of achievement. Consistency. Most people are just not consistent. And yesterday we filmed the latest, well, it's not the latest, it's coming out, I think, in September, the My365 Elite Masterclass on movement. So we all know exercise is important, but movement is more important, because most people don't even move. And a lot of people who exercise don't do much movement apart from driving to the gym and exercising. So movement is fundamentally important. And we had some fun yesterday because we were playing around with the word consistent. And I thought, I don't actually really know what that word means. Do you know what it means? The word to be consistent. Does anyone know what it means? Let's take a quick pause while I have a sip of coffee. What does it mean to be consistent? You all want to be consistent. Now, there's a scientific terminology to consistent. Do you know what that means? The scientific meaning of the word consistent. I didn't know this till yesterday, but I learned something and I had to write it down. And now I have to say it 4 or 5 times until I remember it. The scientific terminology of the word consistency is holding matter together. When something is consistent, it holds together. What holds you together? To have achievement in your life, it's essential to really know what holds you together. What seems to hold most people together is looking after themselves. There's no question about that. Try not sleeping, try drinking copious amounts of alcohol, try just eating rubbish and see what happens. You won't hold yourself together very well. You can hold yourself together so much better by looking after yourself. You all know that. That's what the Magnificent Seven is all about. That's our system of achievement of health. If you follow the Magnificent Seven, and by the way, if you haven't looked at this, you're all welcome to look at it. You can give this to anyone you want in the world. My365, it's absolutely free. .me/mag7. This will change your life. If you want the science of achievement, looking at your health and well-being, go and see this. If you've not seen it, go and check it. Click on the link, download it. You get a whole load of, you get an interview with Dr. Rakowski. You get something you can download in terms of filling in the Magnificent Seven, the 7 areas. If you are a My365er, you know these, right? Eat right, drink right, think right, move right, talk right, poop right, move right. All of these 7 that make us you can score these between 1 and 5 or 0 and 5. So you can start to see how your health is doing. But in order to achieve anything, there's a key, right? There's a key thing. We all know what it is. It's hard work. Well, it's not always hard work, but it's work. If you want something, there has to be an exchange. So for many of you that are working on your My365 challenge, building up to the summit on the 23rd of September, whether you're coming or not, there has to be a sacrifice. There has to be something that you're willing to trade in order to get this. It's the history of man. We trade things. We have to, if you want something enough, what's the trade-off? So let's look. See, this morning, I had already done a summary yesterday, but I thought, no, I need to do it again. And I was really pleased that I did the summary. Here is the summary of this week. So should we have a quick review? Is everyone ready for this? See how many, there's a few less people here than there were on Monday. Why is that? Probably, maybe people will watch this on the replay, but we all know there's nothing. If you are watching this on the replay, thank you very much. I can be firm, I can be hard. By the way, next week, we're going to look at how to fail at everything. That's the theme of next week, how to fail at everything. And on Sunday, I will be broadcasting on Monday and Tuesday in New York. But on Sunday, I'm going to do a very special broadcast from New York with something really amazing to share with all of you. I'm not going to tell you what that is just yet, but get ready. So, ready for the summary? Ready for the summary? Well done if you are here. What an achievement. How many of you have been here? How many of you have watched every broadcast this week? Just say yes or no. Yes or no. Let us know. I know some of you, because you work nights, you can't, but how many of you, whether you've watched it live or not, you've watched every episode this week, you've made notes, and you are seriously into the science of achievement. You're not playing around with this. You see this as a real opportunity to do something great. You see this as a real opportunity to leave a mark on this universe, to leave a mark so that when you leave, people remember you by who you became. See, when we look at becoming, My365, as many of you know, is about inspiration, becoming an inspired person. You breathe life into what you do. If you breathe life into this, what do you think is going to happen? What you put out into the universe is called a magnet. You put a magnet out there. What does magnets do? It attracts. If you're putting a magnet out there of what's wrong, what's missing, what you haven't got, what do you attract? More of the same. If you put a magnet out there saying, I'm attracting achievement, I'm attracting to learn from what happens to me. So let's do a quick review. It'll take no more than 5 minutes. Who's fired up right now? Who's living the dream? Show me some hearts. This is real. Most of you know this. I'm getting better. Every day I'm getting better. You follow me. What do you think is going to happen to you? If you want to do this half-heartedly, it's fine. But I'm here today to say, come on, let's really commit to being an achiever. So what is an achiever? An achiever is someone who does something with the 3 components. What are they? See, if you've listened this week, you should be able to reel them off. But it's okay. Who's the best student? The student that really wants to achieve more than everybody else. I don't want to be better than anybody else, but I want to be the best that I can be. So I have to achieve. So I have to put skill, effort, and courage. Does this make sense? Skill, effort, and courage. I'm working on something behind the scenes at the moment I'm so excited about. And it's around helping people come into the 2%. Remember we spoke about that this week, that 98% of people fail in life because they don't do what the 2% do, and the 2% have a 100% success rate. Imagine if we went to school and they taught us what the 2% do. Now, many times in your life, you've achieved things with skill, effort, and courage because you had to, rather than using skill, effort, and courage because you were compelled to move forwards to something. There was something in your life. You wanted to make something happen, so you were compelled to do what it takes. Most of us use skill, effort, and courage to move away from something, which is okay, but it ain't where it's at. Achievers love to do things. They love the feeling of completion. So if something takes less than 2 minutes, they won't put it off till tomorrow, what we were looking at last week, procrastinating. They will do it now, and they do things because they love the feeling they're going to get. So real achievers, and go on, say it now. Say it out loud, say it in your head, it's up to you. I'm an achiever. I'm an achiever. Say it in your head, I'm an achiever, I'm an achiever. See, achievers recognize that they can't play themselves down. They've been doing that for too long. Achievers wake up and go, I'm here to achieve. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to be a positive influence in my own life. I'm an achiever. So achievers have a good life. They develop self-mastery, and they find something that they can do, that they get positive feedback from it, themselves and from others. And that's why My365 is, I reckon it is the most, or one of the most positive communities of people in the world, because people are sharing their experience and they're getting people coming back going, wow, that's amazing. I'm so fired up by you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can learn more from each other in many cases than we can learn from me. We're all writing a story, right? But what's your story like? Is it a story you go, this is a great story, I can't wait to, I want to carry on reading this? Or is it like, oh, this is not that interesting. This person on this journey of self-mastery, it's like, no, it's all right. So we want to be in the 2%. And we'll look at that more and more and more. What do the 2% do? I'm sure probably many of you have spent weeks working with me and you realize what the 2% do. And many of you now are in the 2%. But it starts off by deciding to be in the 2%. So what else did we look at this week? We looked at flipping the switch. And I said, go up to a light and flip it. What I have in here is a button that you can press and you can dim it, or you can make it brighter. How do you make your dreams brighter? Focus on them every single day. Check in with what you're working on every day, and that way you make it brighter. If not, things that you want can become dim to the point where you don't act on them anymore. So what we want when we're flipping the switch is decide, what do we want to let go of? Flip the switch on excuses. Flip the switch on finding fault in other people. Flip the switch on blaming others. Flip the switch on taking 100% extreme ownership for what you do with your life. It's really, really up to you. Now, this is some stuff that we didn't touch upon, and I really, really want to emphasize this, because I reckon the odds are really against you. I'm really going to say that, and I touched on this on day one, but the odds are against you. If you right now, right here, tell us what it is that you want in your life. Just write down anything in your life that you want. How many of you want to be financially free? The odds are so far against you, it's a joke. How many of you want to lose weight, be fit, be healthy, but not just lose it, but keep it off? My God, the odds are so against you. You've got no chance. What about anything else that you want to achieve? Pete, you're being a bit tough. Well, I'm just being honest. If you're looking at it from a statistical point of view, you've got no chance. Well, you've got a very, very small chance. What else do you want? You want freedom? Let's be a bit more specific. What exactly do you want? What exactly do you want? Happiness. Let's be more specific. You want peace? You want financial freedom? What do you want? Sorry, if I was a bookmaker, I'd go, sorry, that's it's not 100 to 1 shot. It's, I don't know, 95 to 1. The odds are against you. If you want to stop or break a habit, the odds are against you. It's all stacked up against you. Why don't we just end the broadcast now and just go our separate ways? Because what's the point? You know, what is the point? You ain't going to succeed if you want to look at this from a statistical point of view. Now, I don't like to look at things from a statistical point of view because statistics are things which, in many cases, other people have made up. And if I believed the statistics, then my wife wouldn't be alive. Because statistically, you know, this is what we were told was going to happen. She didn't look at the stats. She didn't want to, which I admire her to do, because most people would go, look, no. I want to take my life in my own fate. The odds are against you. They're against you if you want to look at the odds. But do you believe in the odds? Do you think the odds were against the Beatles? Do you think the odds were against all the bands that want to perform? Do you think they were against them, or Elvis Presley, or Martin Luther King, or anyone, Edison, Oprah Winfrey? You think the odds were against them? Oprah Winfrey, who's become probably one of the most successful people in the world, one of the richest people in the world. Yet, you know, a black woman in America at a time where you got no chance. And even today, the odds are stacked against people in those positions. But what can you do with someone who has a goal and a dream and a desire? They don't look at the stats. It's not about the stats. It's what you're going to do. Now, I can't do it for you, but I can be here as a constant force in your life, someone you could just check in and show up every single day. It's up to you. I don't believe you're ever going to find an opportunity like this in your whole life, to have a coach, to have a community, to set yourself challenges and just show up every single day. I do believe in you, probably believe in you more than you believe in yourself. The odds are stacked against you. But so what? Who likes the odds against them? The odds are against us. Come on, let's go, charge. That's what the Spartans were so well known for. They loved it, brought out the best in them. When are we going to see the best in you when the odds are stacked against you? It's entirely up to you guys. So let's get in the game. This is what I want you to write down. Get in the game. Because if this was a game, some of you are just playing around with it, having a bit of fun. Yeah, this is okay, doing a bit here, a bit there, but you're not really in the game. This is a game. Are you in the game? Are you kind of in and out the game? Or you're not in the game at all? You're just paying lip service to this. It's up to you. But the science of achievement is you making a decision. And when you make a true decision, you know what the word decision means, right? To deseize, to cut off. This is just what I'm doing. Just try and stop me. I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is who I am. This is my life. This is what I'm doing. It's been a pleasure to be able to deliver this week to you. I will do a 1-minute summary in a second. But what I want to ask you, I want to touch on 2 more things. Dynamic tension. People who are successful, achievers, have tension that is drawn. It's like an elastic band that goes round them and is right in front of the person they want to become. And they are drawn towards becoming that person. And everything they do every day, it's like they're being pulled towards it. That's what we have to create. One way to create that is to ask a series of questions, which many of you know, right? You know how powerful questions can be, but most of us ask crap questions. Why am I so fat? Why am I so tired? Well, it's because you went to sleep at 1:30 in the morning. That's why you're tired. Why am I so fat? Well, because you eat too much. And that's not the answers that other people will give you. That's the answers that you're giving yourself. You just need to listen and pay attention. So here we go. What would you do if you only had 10 minutes to live? Right now, think about it, or write it down. You've got 10 minutes to live. What are you going to do? You only got 10 minutes. What are you going to do? Okay. What are you going to do if you've got 10 hours to live? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you've got 10 days? You've got 10 days to live. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you've got 10 months to live? What are you going to do if you've got 10 years to live? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Forget 10 years. What about the rest of your life? What are you going to do? What's important to you? See, what a lot of people, I think, really don't realize is the clock is ticking. It doesn't matter whether you've got 10 hours, 10 days, 10 years. It's clicking. It's ticking. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving. What are you doing? What do you want the legacy of your life to be? Well, you know, I could have, would have, should have. I've met so many athletes that I worked with, a lot of footballers who never really got to the point. And you listen to them talk, sitting by the bar, having a pint, going, oh, that could have happened, that might have happened. But fair enough. You're just living in the past. What about now? What about now, and what about the future? It's really up to you. Now, it might be that no one ever in your life asks you the questions that I'm asking you. But I'm only asking the questions because for one simple reason. There's probably two, but we'll just focus on one. You were put on this earth to make a difference. You were put on this earth to shine. You were put on this earth to move and to create movement. That's what we're here to do, to create a legacy, to bring forth something else, to leave a mark. But more importantly, just to be someone who you are proud of, that you could look in the mirror and say, I like who I am. I like who I have become. I love the person that I see here. I don't need anyone's approval. I just need to be able to be who I want to be. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely one of the most profound things that human beings can do. And I think that's what we all really have a deep need to do. So many of you will know this has been an awesome week, and I'm delighted to be able to take you around the world, to be in New York and to share that with you and share other things with you. What are you going to share with me? Are you going to share with me what you've learned, what you've achieved, and what you're going to do with it? Probably not, because whatever, I don't know what the reason is, but that's okay. If it's a valid reason, it's a valid reason. I believe in you. I really appreciate everyone being a part of this magical week. Thank you for all the hearts I'm seeing that people are giving me on Instagram. I'm going to make a 1-minute review and then we'll finish. And remember, next week, how to fail at everything. Everyone needs to hear this. You really need to know, because most of you don't even know how you're failing at most things. In order to achieve, sometimes it's a good idea, goodbye Instagrammers, to know why you fail. So, are we ready? Are you ready for a 1-minute review? Here we go. 5, 4, I have no idea what I'm about to say, but there you go. Here we go. So this is it, day 5 on the Science of Achievement. Thank you everyone that's been watching. If you're watching this on the replay, we really appreciate you. And this week has been an awesome week, because being an achiever is a choice. You can either choose to think, I am an achiever, I am in the 2%. I'm not in the 98% of people who fail. I am a 2%er. What does a 2%er really represent? Someone who decides they want to use skill, effort, and courage to move forwards in their life and make a difference, to leave a mark on this earth. Come on, let's wake up. Let's be honest. You know it's the truth, right? And the truth sometimes hurts. Like, oh God, that's a bit, well, you've hit the mark there. I'm only here to hit a mark to wake you up, wake you up, wake you up. Maybe for some of you, this is like getting a big bucket of water right over your face and go, whoa, hello. Listen, let's stop playing it small. Let's play it big. It's been a great week. We'll see you next week. The odds are in your favor if you want them to be. See you next week to have, that was a minute. Almost got it perfect. See you next week on how to fail at everything. I'm looking forward to seeing your videos. I want to know what you have learned, what you've achieved, and what you're going to do with it. And if you don't make a video and put yourself out there, at least write it. Type it, put it out here. Other people learn from other people's stories. That's what a community is. It's like, what can we learn from each other? If you don't want to do that, at least write it down. You know, take some time and share it with a few people. Whether it's one person or 2 or 10, tell them, this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what they say, just get it out there. That's how you get better. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. You're awesome. I'm off to the gym right now, and we'll see you next week in New York City. I will broadcast on Sunday. I'm not sure what time yet, but I will let you know. Much love to all. We'll see you on the other side.